Hi, my name is Matthew Bellisario. Welcome to another edition of the Bellisario Sonic YouTube channel. Today, I've got a pleasant surprise to share for you, and I was so excited when I heard this record that I had to put this video out, so I hope you share it with other people, because this is one of the coolest jazz releases that I've heard in a long time, and I ran across it surfing Amazon, one of my favorite pastimes, so I can spend more money, right? But I ran across this album, and I saw it because I recognized the name, Simon Phillips, who, as you know, has played drums with a lot of different bands, is also a great record producer, and plays jazz with one of his own groups called Protocol 4. I ran across this and I was curious. I was like, wow, I haven't seen this. Let me go check this out, and found out that this particular recording was recorded live in the studio in Liechtenstein, Austria, at a studio called Little Big Beat. I've never heard of it before. And so I was intrigued. I went online. I found some YouTube videos of a couple of the tunes on this album. I was blown away. If you're one of those people that digs Return to Forever with like the Al Di Meola lineup, you're going to dig this. Although not exactly the same, but it's in that vein. Or also, if you like Jeff Beck, a lot of that kind of a fusion groove oriented type of jazzy sound, you're going to really dig this album. I wouldn't call it exactly like jazz fusion. It's kind of on the borderline between that kind of jazz fusion, jazz kind of a jazz rock sound, if you will, but still retains a lot of that traditional jazz sound. But what this particular lineup is phenomenal. So in this particular studio in Liechtenstein, Austria, they record this during the session straight to analog. So you're getting an analog pressed vinyl right off being recorded right there in the studio, which is really cool. Now, normally, if you go to their website, Little Big Beat, you're going to pay 45 euros for that, and then shipping. It's going to cost you probably $80 to get one of these straight from the website. However, Amazon has these right now for like $30. So now's your chance to get these, because I imagine, I don't know if none of the other ones are available on Amazon except for this one. So I don't know if that's Simon Phillips making it available on Amazon, but this thing should be available to everybody. It's a limited run. And again, I've spoken about this before, about my mixed feelings on limited runs, because music's out there to be heard. And although, we all like the whole collectability of it, it's not really about that. It's about listening to the music, being able to have a great recording and sit back and enjoy it, and bring your friends over and say, man, check out this cool record. I always want to play it for you. And then they're blown away by it. And you can share the music with other people and sit down and enjoy it, and it's a form of leisure. And if it becomes so limited where only a few people can do that, that's, to me, just defeats the whole purpose. So I don't know how many they made of these. It is a limited version of this. So if you're into that kind of Chick Corea type of modern sounding jazz, and I made a whole list of notes here that I'm going to go through with you that I made as I listened to this record, and I'm just really taken by it. This is a really great record. I've listened to it once through. I made the notes on the first pass through it. I'm going to go back and listen to it after this video is over, but I wanted to give you my first impressions. So for guitar and drum fans, you're going to really love this. This features Greg Howe on guitar. And if you don't know who he is, he's been around since the early 90s. He's been on like Shrapnel Records and done kind of a lot of this fretboard wizardry, if you will. Great guitar player. But in this setting, to me, he really shines on this record. I mean, plays some tasty guitar licks. Simon Phillips plays awesome drums. You've got Ernest Hibbs on bass, fantastic bass player, and then Otmaro Ruiz on keys. Now, there's some cool key leads on here, and I'm going to talk about it as I go through each song about kind of what really caught my attention. But the drums and the guitar here are certainly the two most prominent things that are going to catch your attention on this record. So if you're a jazz drummer or a jazz guitar player, you appreciate that kind of Al Di Meola, Jeff Beck type of guitar playing and that funky drumming and all. This is a great record. I mean, I'm blown away by it. Let me show you the record here before I go give you a rundown of the tracks. So it's recorded here in this studio in Liechtenstein, which is really neat. And it looks like they pass out headphones to everybody, and they're hearing the mix coming right like as it's being played and recorded onto the vinyl. So to me, that is really cool. And I wish more places would do this kind of stuff. So you can see here, I'm going to let you look at it a little closer. So really cool. Here's the set list on the back. All original tunes by Simon Phillips. So let me go ahead and let me show you what the vinyl looks like. One little rub on the vinyl. It's excellent. It's clean. It sounds really good. It just wasn't perfectly flat. So I had just a little bit of a very little bit of a wobble, a little bit of a, it's very slight on this particular pressing. It's not perfectly flat, but it does not affect the play whatsoever. So I wouldn't let that deter you. At least it did not on mine. It played really well. It comes with a nice anti-static sleeve, so you don't have to worry about any kind of mo-fi having to put a sleeve on it. So nice packaging, gatefold, nice vinyl. It's mixed by Simon Phillips. Sounds really good. You have I would call it a really balanced, warm and vibrant live mix on this. It just sounds great. I'm really enjoying this. I would say that the first song, Pentangle, starts off, it's kind of a funky groove, great guitar, and again, reminiscent of that Al Di Meola electric guitar on the Return to Forever type stuff, the later live stuff. I'm really digging it. The keys switch over with the guitar back and forth, so there's a lot of cool key runs as well. The drums, let me tell you, the drums sound really good on this record. And a lot of the modern stuff that's pressed on vinyl, and especially when they try to cram a lot onto a record album, you basically have about 23 minutes on the first side, and you've got like 18 minutes on the second side. So, which is what you want on a vinyl pressing. You don't want to go over too far over 20 minutes on each side. And so, because when you do that, you have to start making your grooves smaller and shallower in order to fit more and more on that record. So that's why a lot of the longer records don't sound as good. So the drums on this sound just resonant and full, and they pop, and you can hear the highs of the cymbals and the toms and the bass drum and all that. It's just a great sounding record. So for those of you vinyl enthusiasts that truly appreciate the analog sound, you're going to get it on this record, and it's really good in my opinion. This is where vinyl really shines. You can't get this on a 16-bit CD. You can't get this sound. I don't care what anybody says. You might be able to get it very close on a 24-bit DVD or Blu-ray audio. I would grant you that. But you on a 16-bit CD, no way. All right, so that is the first song, Pentangle. The second one, All Things Considered, is a straight-ahead groove, more distorted guitar. It reminds me of that Jeff Beck sound. The bass has a very full round sound, and it's really full. It sounds really warm. You have great funky leads. And again, the mix is balanced, and Greg House shines on this tune. He shines throughout this album. His guitar playing is phenomenal. Great tasty leads. Not playing fast for the sake of playing fast like a lot of people just like to shred. No, it's very tastefully done. He's got those bluesy licks, those just transitions and flows between these. The guy's a great guitar player. So for those, again, who are fans of that electric jazz sound that's a little more over the top, like the Al Di Meola, Jeff Beck type stuff, you're going to dig this a lot. Third song, Solitaire. Again, the Jeff Beck sound came to mind. Kind of a groove-driven, almost a fusion sounding, but again, I would put it on that borderline of being fusion and just not quite there, but enough to where those people that can't handle where it kind of goes off that deep end on Fusion. It holds that structure more on this record. So I think it's pretty accessible for this kind of music for a lot of people. It's not going to be where it goes so far off the deep end like some of the Miles Davis stuff where, you know, you kind of have to let yourself step off the edge of reality. This, it kind of sticks right there on the edge, a lot of this, and it's really good. So the drums are prominent on this record, on this album, and on this particular track, Solitaire. There's some great drum leads and fills here that close out the track. So that's side one. It's 3 tracks. All the songs are about 7 minutes apiece. Flip over to side 2. First song is Nimbus. It starts out with a spacey guitar arpeggio with drums and bass kind of grooving under, and then it kicks off into another slower type of pace. Again, think of a Return to Forever type sound. The guitars and keys both have great solos. The bass playing is really, really cool on this particular track. The guitars and keys, they both have great solos, as I've said. There's a nice breakdown where you have a really cool guitar licks in there, and very tasty though. This is not just playing to show off. This is really musical. The drumming, again, superb. It's a 9-minute song, Nimbus, so it gets into some great grooves where they kind of break down, where all the players of the band get a chance to really shine on this, including some quiet moments. And the drums are just really, they really pop out on this particular song, Nimbus. Again, it's over 9 minutes long, so they get to stretch out on it. Really, I really enjoyed it. And then the last song is called Phantom Voyage. It's a little over 8 minutes, and it opens with like a piano. It's really the only piano sound that you hear prominently on the record. And some piano and synth sounds accompanied by kind of an ethereal sounding guitar at the beginning. And then it's a slower paced, more groovy, bluesy sounding on this track, maybe a little bit more. Again, the house guitar center stage on this. You get tasty leads on this, and the guitar tone is really nice on this. He's really got it dialed in, and everybody, you got 4 guys on this, and it is just so full sounding. And it also features a nice extended piano solo on this particular track, Phantom Voyage. So for all of you out there that like that kind of Return to Forever, Jeff Becky sounding type of jazzy sound, you're going to like this a lot. And again, this is a chance to get a nice analog pressing at a really good price for $30. So I would recommend anybody that's into that kind of music to go out and pick this up as soon as you can before they're gone. Because otherwise you're going to have to go to the European website and it's going to cost you a fortune. So again, Simon Phillips studio live session at Little Big Beat Studios. All compositions written by Simon Phillips. Gatefold cover. Nice sounding record. And just a great mix and great analog recording. This is, in my opinion, why we listen to vinyl records right here. This is why we listen to vinyl records. All right. We'll see you on the next video.